Take it away.
All right, guys, we've got RGN Spades and Fnatic Nightend here. It is going to be a Terran versus Protoss, and it is game 2 here in Team Arena. I'm excited because, of course, the reigning champions, they've already lost one game in this series. They've got to bring it back here. Remember, it's a best of 9.
Yes.
So they've got to go all the way here if they want to remain the crown champions, and we are going to be here on Shakuras Plateau. Spades is going to be the blue Terran at the top left, and at the bottom right-hand corner, we have Fnatic's Nightend.
And, you know, we've mentioned it before, but Rain has already made $2,000 off of Team Arena here in the past 4 weeks. That means that they have a $400 bounty. That means if Fnatic is able to take home the championship or this week, they will actually claim $500 plus a $400 bounty, $900 for a best of 9. That would be a pretty good series.
$100 per game, man.
There
if
you
they go all into the 9th game.
And that is a pretty good motivator for your team.
Yeah, exactly. You sit down and you play this game, Fnatic, and you remember each game is $100. Better win. Their manager's saying that.
That would be Xeris, actually. So,
yeah.
Xeris, you better have said that. But anyway, so we have Nightend down here at the bottom right. Spades is already dropping down one barracks here at the top left. Neither player really giving away strategies yet. Neither player going after ridiculously fast Nexus or Command Center first.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go for a ridiculously fast Nexus or it's possible, but you know, the natural, given that it's right there's a possibility that an attack can come through that front door. Like a Protoss could 4-gate a Terran who goes for one barracks expand somewhat easily on this map. But we'll see what Spades and Nightend decide to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nightend has a probe running around his opponent's base, gets a full scout, and sees that there is no gas coming out. And so here we go. Let's see, down at the bottom right-hand corner, Nightend just putting up one gas for the time being, and still has not really shown his tech. Of course, the 3-gate expand, oh so popular against Terran players recently. Not be terribly surprised to see that at all, but because of the walk distances here on this map, certainly has the luxury of throwing down a 1-gate expand if you would want to.
It's quite possible. I'm just getting some Skype calls right now from a bunch of people. Apparently,
that's what I was pointing out before.
We need to run here, man.
Oh, yes. We have a really, really cool graphic that we're actually going to show. I totally take the blame for that. I forgot to put up the graphic in between the games, but our motion graphic artists have been hard at work, and we'll make sure to show it in between every game now.
And if all else fails, we'll do a dance. Sing a song, do a dance right here.
There you go. All right. We have Spades dropping down the 1-Rax Gasless FE. Build that I really love to do as well. You can follow this up with 4 racks and 1 bunker right here at the top of the ramp. Keeps you pretty immune to a lot of pressure and also gives you a lot of versatility. You can also pretty easily go into double gas after this if you want and just tech up to multiple barracks and right into, you know, select style 3 racks into medevac, something like that. So.
Yeah, I would be really surprised to see Spades go for a different strategy than what is the norm here against the Protoss player. You know, you mostly see that Marine Marauder Bio Ball supported by medvacs. It's pretty much the most common way to play, and on a map like this, the dropships are pretty easily used. They can go around the perimeter of the map, come in behind the natural, come into the main, and it's difficult for Protoss to be able to scout that, unlike a map like Xel'Naga Towers, or not Xel'Naga Towers, Xel'Naga Caverns, where you can put pylons on the side of the map. Can you imagine the map Xel'Naga Towers?
What, you mean Kulas Ravine?
Yes.
Like, hey, how many was there? Like
there's like 4 towers on that. 8
no,
towers?
No. There's like 12. It's seriously, there's 6 in the middle. There's 4. No, there's 10 towers because there's 6 in the middle and 4 around the outside.
I would not remember that because that map has been erased from my memory.
It should be.
Very hard map for Zerg to play on.
Yes. Anyway, so for people asking in chat, no players cannot respawn. There are no aces. There are no revivals or anything like that in this format.
There is no
respawn
until
you lose. So,
indeed. Well, we do have the couple more barracks coming up here for Spades. He's going to get a Tech Lab as well. No doubt he's going to get that Stim Pack upgrade right away. Either that or Combat Shields, usually a Stim. And Nightend is going to be getting, let's see, he's got 1-gate expand. He's throwing down a couple of extra gates. Is that 4 gates total?
Robo. 3-gate robo.
3 gates and a robotics facility. So pretty standard opening from both these players. And, you know, I think we're going to be seeing them approach the mid-game without a single ounce of aggression.
Yep, and this looks like it's turning into that very, very nice macro game that you're referring to.
Wow, he's got a lot of Marines, man.
Yeah, certainly.
That's interesting.
He's only producing 1 medevac, or I'm sorry, 1 Marauder at a time. But this is pretty. If he follows this up with a factory right now, this is pretty select style. 3 racks into quick reactored medevacs. And it actually allows for a lot of very, very good mid-game aggression, especially with well-coordinated drops, things like that.
If Spades decided to attack right now, I think Nightend would be in a little bit of trouble. He's only got 2 sentries on the field. He's rushing Colossus right now as he's getting that support bait down. He's only got, well, he's just now getting the 2nd and 3rd gateway down. Really, if Spades decided to just press his luck right now, I honestly feel like he could do a lot of damage, but he's not going to.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. He already has that factory almost done. We will see very, very fast medevac after that. It looks like he was delaying, saving up some resources by putting down a couple extra add-ons there as well. And of course, the time it takes for that reactor to come up, he's going to get a very, very nice amount of units. Let's see, there's the starport, there's the 50 minerals, and there's the reactor. So 3 racks into quick medevacs, indeed it is. But this observer is going to get a good scout.
Oh yeah, the Observer always gets a good scout, Cats.
Indeed.
It gets in there, it sees everything, it's the all-seeing eye, and it is going to go all the way to the back here. Sees the factory, sees the starport. So now Nightend has a perfect beat as to what Spades is doing. He knows the rhythm, he knows the tempo, and he knows when those forces are going to come out. And I don't think I don't think Nightend is going to overreact to this. I mean, he sees all the Marines and Marauders. However, he sees that Spades is also landing his orbital command at the natural. So Nightend is going to continue to play his strategy here. He's not adding on additional gateways. He's pumping out his Colossus as planned, and as soon as that Colossus comes out, his force, its power multiplies exponentially.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to support that early production as well. He has enough resources saved up for Thermal Lance, though. Surprised he hasn't done that yet. No, because he's putting that down. This is really risky out of Nightend, though. Nightend has gotten a pretty good scout. He sees the bunkers going down, the engineering bay, so he knows that Spades is playing pretty passively for a while, but if Spades would switch that up, the amount of tech that Nightend is investing in right now is ridiculous.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. He sees exactly what Spades has on the field. He knows about all those Marines and Marauders. He knows Spades is expanding, but he's kind of rolling the dice here. He's saying, you know what? I'm hoping Spades doesn't attack me, because if he does, I'm in trouble. And here we do have an attack coming.
Wow. He's not going to cancel the Twilight Council or the Forge.
He's not going to cancel
it. And the upgrades from those aren't going to be useful by the time that he attacks. He's going to have to hope that Sentries plus Colossi, a little bit of force field action is going to be enough for him.
He's going to need a lot more force field action. That's only enough Sentries to block off the ramp about twice, and then they're going to be depleted of energy. Now he's starting to cycle out units, playing a very Zerg style here, just building up the economy, building up the technology, then using at the very last second all your production into actual forces. So he's producing a couple Stalkers here, a couple of Colossus, trying to rush the Blink and the +1 weapons as well, but Spades hesitating here, taking out the towers first, and that may actually give Nightend enough time to build out the forces he needs.
Yeah, Nightend's already had 2 weapons of Stalkers. He's already got enough units situated around that he's going to be able to put a stop to heavy drop play. So Spades looks like he just wants to build up a devastating army and then go after that. He's already building his 3rd command center. Looks like it's poised to float down here into the pocket expansion. So he is fine. He thinks his macro is better than anyone else, and that he is going to be fine playing this passive game. Here we go, though. A couple of drops coming in. Nightend is going to be able to react to that very fast.
Yeah, I think Nightend should be able to hold this off pretty easily. Spades may want to fall back out of there, but he ends up losing 2 Marauders as well, and a dropship. Beautiful play by Nightend, and a horrible loss by Spades. That drop did absolutely nothing. The Stalker there with 1 HP. Its shield's now beginning to recuperate after that lasted attack, and wow, Spades not doing a single ounce of damage, and Nightend coming out huge. His supply now a good 10 or 13 ahead of the Terran player, and now he's going to go ahead and take an expansion.
Yeah, and what's worse is that Spades didn't cause his opponent. I think the attack was going to serve 2 purposes. One, it was to do damage. That's the overt response, but I think he wanted to pin Nightend to 2 bases for as long as possible, but Nightend, even receiving that, decided, I'm just going to go ahead and expand anyway.
No, if anything, killing that dropship gave him the leeway to go ahead and expand.
Yeah.
So that actually backfired on Spades in a major way. Although Spades does have a 3rd command center, and like you said, poised to lift off and float into the pocket expansion. Yeah. Very nice saying right there.
Thank you.
Caught my ear.
His macro is still very, very good. He's got 2 more barracks coming up. He's using all his resources. Would expect to see a 2nd engineering bay and a little more upgrades here, maybe an armory as well. Looks like a planetary fortress has to be used right away, though.
Yeah, and you have to remember that dropship going down isn't the end of the world for Spades, because yes, it's a kind of a loss here or there, but it's not the hugest loss, and you guys can see that reflected in the supply. He's only down by a little bit here. He's been able to recuperate fairly quickly.
But Nightend, we were talking about the fact that he invested in a ton of tech before, and he wanted to sit back and just play minimal defense until that tech came up.
Now that tech is starting to roll in.
Yes, it is. He's already got +2 ground weapons coming up. He's already researching charge. He's already got Link done, so he's going to be able to move into Templars very, very easy. He's already got a significant number of Colossi. high. So no, Spades is certainly not out of this. It wasn't like a game ending that he lost that medevac.
But he is behind.
Yeah, significantly, because that tech did come in for Nightend.
Yeah, no doubt there. You know, Spades has to do a little bit of recuperation. He's got to get his Ghost out immediately. Does he have a Ghost Academy?
Yeah, it's coming up right now.
So he's got a Ghost Academy. He's also got an Armory coming out as well.
Good number of upgrades. He just wants to support 2-2 upgrades.
Could just be for the 2-2 upgrades, I would imagine. I was for some reason there, I was thinking, you know what? I wonder if you get a Thor out there.
Actually, +1 weapons to air is actually a very strong upgrade because the Vikings do double attacks, of course, and that's basically 2 upgrades worth against a Colossus. And especially because there are no armor upgrades right now, that means those Vikings are going to do quite a bit more damage. Looks like they're going to position themselves on the high ground, though, so they don't take much fire from these Stalkers. Try to get the absolute best position, baiting those units out for a little while. Spades has a nice split on his forces. There's a blink, though. It's going to force these Vikings back for a while.
I was thinking right there, Spades might actually try to use his factory to kind of create like an artificial force field, so to say, and funnel the Protoss forces, but he didn't decide to do that because Nightend obviously didn't attack. But it does look like Nightend's grabbing a 4th expansion here, so he's definitely playing that macro game. He's got map control as well. Spades got to figure out some way to get back in this game. He's got enough Vikings here, I feel like, to deal with Colossus. I think he should actually cut the Viking production because he's way overproducing Vikings right now, and Nightend is switching into Templar play, and you know what? Vikings don't fare so well against Templar.
No, I mean, that's a really good... I mean, Pain User, this is something he talks about quite a bit as a frustration for him. You have to overproduce Vikings, because if you don't have enough Vikings, even just barely not enough Vikings, that means Colossus are going to completely wreck your Bio Ball. There's nothing you can do about it. So you have to overproduce in Vikings, and then if there's a Templar Archives down, the Protoss has the ability to switch really quick into Charge Light Archon, which of course nullifies Vikings completely. So Nightend has quite a bit of
He's switching
luxury.
into Charge Light Archon, man.
Yeah, and Storm's coming up as well, but Spades, if he can neutralize those Colossi very easily and get off clutch EMP, he still has a very good chance in this engagement.
Yeah, he certainly has a lot of ghosts on the field. I think he's got at least 2 there. He could use a couple more, I suppose. But he does have a lot of Marauders as well. Marauders are fairly good against this force. We do have a big engagement here. All those Colossus are going to go down, but the Charge Shot's getting right up in the face of the Marauders and the Marines. The M&M is staying away from the fire for now, but it looks like Nightend has enough. It's going to be certainly very close. All the Colossus have now gone down. Dropship now microing a couple of Marauders out of the way, and wow, Nightend is going to collapse over Spades' force, but Spades has reinforcements, and Spades pushes Nightend back.
And those and this is actually going to work out really well to Spades' favor, because he's able to cut that Viking production right now once he sees the Charge Light Archon, and he's not going to have useless Vikings just sitting around. So this is actually going to play really well into his hands. And it looks like he may even have an honest shot at taking out this next base. He needs to get all of his units focused in here. There we go. There's the Storm.
There's the
number of units going down. Storm's actually doing quite a bit. Those are good Storms. These medevacs very low on health, and the subsequent Charge Light reinforcements should be enough to take this out.
Oh, a little bit of back and forth tug of war over Shakuras Plateau. More reinforcements coming in for Spades. He picks off a force right there, but he has to fall back as he faces down against so many Charge Shots, and Nightend able to hold on to that expansion. Absolutely key right there, and both players now approaching 4 bases, so we do have a very close game here. I can't actually help... I don't know who's actually ahead right now. Well, if we look at that supply, it looks like Nightend's still favoring about a 30 or maybe about 15 or so supply lead. So Nightend still has a bit of an advantage here, but I feel like Spades knows the Charge Out Archon composition is out now, so he can just pump pure Marauders, and he should be just fine dealing with this.
You know, actually, I was going to think the same thing, but then he comes back and proves us wrong. He's actually got a Colossus up, and he's producing another 2. Actually, he's got 2 Colossus up and another one, so maybe playing a little bit of head games with him at the time. Sorry, guys, we are right next to San Francisco's fire department headquarters, so apologize for the sirens going off. We are actually moving pretty soon, so that should take care of that. Double drop, or I'm sorry, 2 medevacs worth, I should say, of a drop coming here at the top right-hand corner. Nightend cancels everything. Spades going to stem his way down and start to do a little bit of damage here to the 4th as well.
Yeah, Spades here really trying to come back here for his teammate Giz. He knows he needs to get that one more win to tie up the series. It looks like he's going to have to run up the ramp here, but does his damage. He cancels the Nexus. He can fall out here without losing any more forces, but it looks like he's going to lose possibly a dropship. Oh my god, that dropship is definitely not going to go down.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was pretty close, and I thought that dropship had a lot less HP than that. But the 2 dropships get out of there. They do their damage, not losing too many forces, and in the background, Nightend here is going to respond with Warp Prism play. I think that's the Warp Prism speed.
They always look so similar. What's the one that's remaining? No, that was actually Observer speed. Don't worry, the pictures are way too close, and you don't see them often enough to know the difference. But anyway, so here we go. Nightend, he does have a huge amount of Templar behind this as well. How many ghosts are on the field? Let's take a look at the units tab. None, actually. There are no ghosts out for Spades, and those EMPs are going to be critical if he wants to be able to engage this force straight up.
Yeah, he's going to have to land those EMPs on the dot. He's going to have to hit all those Templar with a single burst, because that's about 7 Templar, so 3, 7 indeed. So it looks like Nightend is going to be pushing up here. Both players are nearing max here, and it's going to come down to one big engagement, but Spades needs to make more Vikings right now. He's got to have the perfect composition to deal with the Templar and the Colossus. One storm going off right there, and it looks like we are going to have a big battle here, cats. The stim has gone down. The Marauders and Marines have a great concave, but the Zealots have gone right up in there. No EMPs have gone down, and the storm is just destroying everything that Spades has.
Oh my god, feedback's killing everything as well. That went as well as Nightend could have prayed for. Beautiful job. Just a couple of ghosts are left, and that is it. GG from Spades.
Oh my god.